Historians refer to him as the Great, but today we're asking, was Constantine great? Or did he just have a really good PR team? Now, I know what you're thinking, Constantine was great, the clue is in the name. Everyone thinks so. I know, but just hear me out. Constantine was a bad emperor, and I'm going to prove it. Yes, he legalized Christianity. Yes, he united the empire, briefly. But scratch beneath the surface and you'll find a legacy full of disasters that helped tear Rome apart. From adopting a controversial new religion to changing the capital of the empire and leaving behind a legacy of civil war and chaos. Here are all the reasons why Constantine the Great was in fact a terrible Roman emperor. Constantine was Roman emperor from 306 to 337 AD. He's most known for being the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity and for issuing the Edict of Milan, which legalized the religion. You see, Christianity was illegal in the Roman Empire because it was monotheistic, which means they worshipped only one god. This was a problem in a polytheistic empire where Romans believed that honoring their many gods kept the empire safe and secure. Now, Christians, by refusing to participate in Roman religious rituals, were seen as a threat to the social order. Now, while Rome was mostly tolerant when it came to religion, that tolerance ended the moment it clashed with state-sponsored worship. So Christianity was persecuted, and I don't mean just dirty looks in the forum. I mean getting fed to lions in the Colosseum, courtesy of such emperors like Trajan. So then Constantine comes along and decides to change Roman religious practices and traditions forever. He converts to Christianity and legalizes it across the empire, instantly becoming a hero to the Christian populace. You could argue that aside from Jesus, Constantine did more for Christianity than anyone else in history. But just because someone spread a new religion doesn't mean they were a good emperor. Let's talk about that conversion for a second, shall we? Constantine didn't just wake up one day and find Jesus. He was a shrewd political operator and knew exactly what he was doing. Christianity was on the rise and it had followers in every corner of the empire. Aligning himself with them gave him a loyal support basis, a unifying moral system, and, let's be honest, a divine excuse to wipe out his rivals. Now, I know this is going to sound a bit weird, but it's kind of like what politicians were doing 10 years ago with gay people and ethnic minorities. If I pretend to care about this group that no one else seems to care about, I can gain their support. Was he a true believer? Maybe, but he did wait until his deathbed to get baptized, just in case the old gods were still watching. Now, if that's not hedging your bets, I don't know what is. Constantine didn't so much spread Christianity as he did weaponize it. He turned faith into imperial policy. But religion wasn't the only thing he changed. He also trashed the political system. Remember Diocletian's Tetrarchy from my last video? What do you mean you haven't seen it? Well, I guess you know what you're doing after this. Alright, so quick recap, 4 emperors sharing power. Constantine was one of them, and he saw an obvious flaw. After Diocletian retired to grow cabbages, Constantine basically launched a series of civil wars against his co-emperors and declared himself the sole ruler. Every rival was eliminated. Constantine united the empire through bloodshed. Unity, sure, but it was at the point of a sword. Okay, so that's not too bad. After all, plenty of Roman emperors united the empire through bloodshed, but at least it's united again, right? Right? Okay, this brings us to the second reason why Constantine was a terrible emperor, his succession plan. Upon his death, Constantine divided the empire between his 3 sons, Constantine II, Constans, and Constantius II, and basically just hoped for the best. Well, this obviously didn't work.
Obviously.
The sons turned on each other almost immediately. Civil war broke out again and 2 of them died violently, and the empire was plunged back into chaos. So basically Constantine undid all of Diocletian's mistakes through war and then made sure the exact same thing happened right after he died again. So more war. Seriously, this period of Roman history is just civil war after civil war. I'm not saying that Constantine by himself was the sole reason the empire fell apart over the next century, but have you ever heard the expression, the straw that broke the camel's back? Constantine added more civil war and then guaranteed that after his death there would be even more civil war. Still think he was a good emperor? Alright, let's move on. Let's not forget that he moved the capital away from Rome. Constantine founded Constantinople as the new capital of the empire. Now sure, this made sense from a military or economic perspective, but historians often cite this moment as a symbolic death of the Roman Empire. It's like that episode of The Simpsons with Principal Skinner, where it may have continued in some form for years afterwards, but it was never quite the same again. The Western Roman Empire never really recovered its central authority, and the Eastern Byzantine Empire was basically a spin-off at best. So, let us look at the scoreboard. Legalized Christianity, yes, but turned it into a political weapon. United the empire, briefly, through civil war, and then split it again, some more civil war. Built a new capital, yep, and left Rome to rot. Planned for a smooth transition? Not even close. What Constantine did was take control, do whatever he wanted, and then leave everyone else to deal with his mess. So, was he really great? No, he wasn't, not even close. But please let me know in the comments, what do you think about Constantine? Was he great? Was he terrible? Are you still unsure? Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.